let me see the charges. Combs 55 is charged with 5 counts, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy and 2 counts of sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. If found guilty on the most serious charges, he could face up to life in prison. Okay. And so count 1, as we've all said, is not, they didn't have a strong case for it, in my opinion. Sean, come on back up here. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing great.
Did you hear what I just read?
Yeah, I'm reading it too. CNN, they're live right now. I'm discussing it. Again, prosecution, they did not do the best job with this count. So it is going to be hard. It's not going to be an easy decision to sit there based off of the evidence that they have. I think it would have been easier if it was a true slam dunk. If it was a true slam dunk, then they would already be, the verdict would be in, fully in. They would be ready to announce it. And then on both sides, it's a good thing for Diddy, but a bad thing for him too. Because that means that if cooler heads have to prevail and come in, I think that I just don't see them finding them guilty. And I wanted to, as much as I want them to.
Honestly, they haven't.
I don't think that they will. I don't. Which is unfortunate.
And the other charges are kind of basic. Did he do this? Yes or no? Right. Yes. Like I said, as a juror, if I'm going by the law and it's low, like Jay Carter was saying, it's kind of low hanging fruit. It's easy, distribute, digit, transport for sex. That's yes. Okay. But for the racketeering conspiracy, that this was a criminal organization when this was done in his bedroom, this was his private life. And there were all sorts of theories and conspiracies out here that all these other celebrities were invited into Diddy parties, and the only one that we have confirmation on is Kanye.
Yes. Oh, not Kanye. I think that this charge that they're having the issue with is the only charge that I feel that Diddy would truly try to appeal. I think this is the charge that I'm going back to court. Like, no matter what, if he gets found guilty of this, he's definitely going back to court as soon as possible to appeal it. This is another reason why I feel that the jury just may go with, not guilty on this life sentence charge, because with what prosecution brought forward, does he deserve to go to jail for the rest of his life based off of a conspiracy? That's
weak. Conspiracy, not he actually did it. They're saying that he intentionally or unintentionally conspired to do that. And if they don't win on that, I'm telling you, they failed. The prosecution has failed. And it already seems like that. Who are they going to convince to come in now to change their mind?
No one. They don't have anyone that could come in because it's over at this point. This is why they should have went hard on this charge instead of going hard to prove to us that he is the freak. Like, we get it. He a freak. He get down like that. He swings. Right. That boys, girls, everybody, monkeys, dogs, all the we get it. Okay. But did you prove that he needs to go to jail for the rest of his life based off of a conspiracy of a criminal organization that you are taking small bits of information and off of a witness? Because don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Cassie, but I don't think that her testimony, it's the cross-examination to me that really has the jury conflicted. Because Cassie could have gave up a lot of that information prior to being cross-examined. If she just would have been honest about it, there were certain things that happened. Cassie did state on the stand that she treated people a certain way, and she regrets how she was treating people and whatnot. And when those audios came out of her threatening people's lives and stuff like that, I can only imagine what she did to other people and whatnot. So I don't think that Cassie's testimony was strong enough to state that this is RICO. Let's convict him of RICO based off of Cassie's lawsuit and her testimony. I just don't feel like it was enough.
I got to get Mel back on the line because he's down there and a verdict has been reached. I don't think that they're going to be, I don't know, it's almost, it's 5 p.m. now, so this verdict won't be probably read until in the morning. What do you think?
I'm agreeing. I think that it'll be in the morning because it is first.
And we'll be live. Jasmine, we got to get up. We got to get up 9 a.m. Okay, we gotta get 9 a.m. We gotta be outside the courthouse. I need mail. I need everybody back on. Listen, Sean, stay here for a second. Hey, our guests, wait backstage. I want to play some footage. Okay, whose video are you bringing up first, Jasmine? Okay, so this is Dave. Dave was actually subpoenaed by the grand jury, okay? And he had to answer questions for prosecutors. In his defense, he claims that he did not say the things that the prosecution wanted him to say in terms of, saying that all of this was forced and that, Cassie looked forced. And so we interviewed him extensively, and his interview is just... it's crazy. And so listen, we have snippets. The entire interview is live on TashaKLive.com. I would say viewer discretion is advised, but we're going to go ahead and hear from Dave. Jasmine, go ahead and play this clip real quick. And then
she's lying. She was a part of this.
So what was the hotel video about? Did you know the specifics of that particular freak off and what happened?
I don't, but I have something to say about that. From what I've read about that freak off, they were with another guy, Jules Theodore. If there was a male escort in the room, why didn't that male escort testify to the fact that Cassie was trying to escape? Here's what I believe that guy would have testified that the argument was not because Cassie was trying to escape the freak off. It was probably because she was jealous because he was texting other women from his phone. Because I saw her get like that. She would watch to see who he was texting. She was his girlfriend. She gets jealous. He's a billionaire and he's a hoe. She know he got a bunch of girlfriends. She know he don't want her. So, of course, she's on a stance where she has to make sure that this guy is not cheating on her. She wants to know. So they probably were in the room. She went through his phone. She might have saw something. She thought he was texting a woman. She decided to leave. They got into a fight. He got caught up. Now, here's the interesting part. I heard during this trial when I was watching that about 3 weeks after, they had a freak off in Miami with me. These are the texts that I heard. Now, they have this fight. She gets beat up. She has to recover. Couple of weeks later, they decide to have another freak off. She tells him they need to change the energy. They need to change the person. The next thing they do is fly to Miami. They call me. How is this someone who's being sex trafficked? And she clearly tells you we need to change the enemy. Then she calls the same guy, because this was 2016, 2015 when he beat her. By then, I was sleeping with her 6 years, 7 years by then. She deliberately calls me from New York to have sex with her in Miami 3 or 4 weeks after he beats her up in his hotel and is making her have sex. Make it make sense. She's lying. She was a part of this. They were fighting probably because he had a woman. She didn't like that. He beat her up. She got over it because the truth is she wasn't loving.
Sean. Yeah, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Wow. Again, I think that you would have to be really close-minded to not think that although I still view Cassie as a victim, a victim is a victim, but I do feel that she's way more involved in what was going on than what she wanted to lead on. Cassie is not innocent when it comes to a lot of these situations with these FOs and also organizing the situation so that it benefits her the most. She was definitely benefiting out of all of these situations. And I think that she would have continued. I think the only reason Cassie stopped doing it is because of the image. Everyone saw that she was with Alex when she had got married and whatnot. I think that was the main reason why she's like, okay, well, I truly can't do this anymore. But I don't think that stopped Cassie from wanting money. I don't think that did that. And Diddy had been taking care of her for 10, 11 years. And you don't want that to go away. Alex, her husband, he doesn't bring in much money. So with that being said, I think it's probable cause for Cassie to go after Diddy for financial compensation when you're used to living a certain lifestyle and having more children, financial woes. She's been taking care of people like her mother and whatnot for a very long time, which gives more incentive for her mother to push her back to Diddy, which she did. With people like, oh, well, Cassie's mom, this is justice for her. It's like, how? When you were encouraging your child to go back to this individual, knowing what was going on.
We know what background her mammy come from. We already know. We already know, girl, where you gonna go?
Yeah.
What you gonna do? You can't stay here, baby. So you got to go do what you got to do. Your mama sold a little pussy. Everybody sold a little. I done took a few slaps. Get your ass down there now. Listen, let me hear from one of the viewers. Who's waiting backstage? Queen Love Bug. So the verdict is in. They can't agree on the RICO conspiracy, but all the other counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, I believe they reached a verdict on. How do you think this is gonna go?
Oh, I knew that the other charges would be a little easier. But the RICO charge, I do agree that the prosecution could have done a better job because these are average, everyday people who you're going to give instructions to in regards to what law to follow in order to reach the verdict. And it could be pretty difficult we have 12 different people, 12 different personalities and opinions. So that's very difficult. If you just pull 12 people that you know together, who has knowledge of the case. Like I can't say that I can pull 12 people together that's gonna all agree on the same thing. I think that maybe some jurors may think like the bribery charge with the hotel. I think that's pretty obvious because he paid the he actually paid $100,000 to the manager as well as the guy that testified.
Okay.
So that's obvious. But it has to be two. They don't have to be the same two. It could be any two. Me, myself, I can see two, but I'm just one person. That doesn't mean that.
Guilty? Do you think guilty or not guilty? Real quick before we move on to the next caller.
I say guilty, but as far as the jury goes, I don't think that they will find him guilty.
Okay. All right. Thank you
so
much.
A lot of persuasion.
Yes. Okay. Real quick, Sean, I want you to listen to another clip from one of the sex workers. Okay. Jasmine, go ahead and play this real quick. Or Rico on the stand?
No, because they knew we were going to say that she was complicit.
Like, I feel like they have to do some changes when it comes to the laws behind that, because if girls are choosing to have a pimp, and the pimp is there to protect them and ensure that they're not getting mistreated during their encounters with men and stuff like that, and they have to pay the pimp for protection because, like, how is he going to make money? To me, even though, yeah, he did all this shit, but I feel like the feds, they love a big cash out. $400 million is at stake that they're going to seize. I don't even think he'll have money for an appeal. The Justice Department will inherit $400 million that was, I guess, made off of sex trafficking or illegal criminal crimes using his organization, bad boy records and all that stuff. And meanwhile, they get to retire off of that money. And it's like, why are you allowed to retire off of money that you say is made illegally, and y'all get to use it to pay federal witnesses and pay for y'all retirement as well too? The money should be burned, right? Nobody should get the money.
True. And it should definitely go to the true victims, some of the male prostitutes that this has happened to.
Sean, and to the viewers, Sean. So Dave exclusively told us today that he is about to sue Cassie in 5 days.
I feel that he is well in his rights, and I also feel that other FOs should sue her as well.
What?
I don't think he should be the only one. I don't. Number one, a lot of these men, their health was definitely risk. Out of the whole trial, you hear nothing about Diddy, nor Cassie, nor anybody on that team doing any rapid tests, making sure that anybody was checked and cleared before. This is why I don't feel like it was a criminal organization. Like they didn't know, because that would be protocol. One of the first things to do if you're going to be finding prostitutes and escorts and whatnot for your boss, well, you want to make sure this person is clean. because we heard nothing about protection being used. Even when the freak out tapes were being watched in court, no one stated anything about contraception or anything like that. So again, she was putting a lot of people's health and whatnot at risk. Also, pain and suffering. Look at all of the embarrassment that these people have had to deal with.
That's what Dave said. He said no one is considering the mental health and just us having to live every day because we're being plastered all over the media that we have to come out and do interviews. They're not. But if this was a woman, Dave said, quote, during our interview, if I was a woman, my identity would be protected. Why is the Jane Doe protected, but why are the sex workers not?
Correct. And not only that, they're also being labeled things that they're not. Two of the male escorts that got on the stand and testified stated that they were not prostitutes. And they also stated that they were not affect. So I agree with him when he said no RICO charges, because he already knew, or they already knew, that they would say that Cassie was complicit, that Cassie wanted these things to happen, that Cassie was no victim. She's like the boss. And also we can tell, although I don't like Diddy, that this is a witch hunt with them going after him, because pretty much everybody that was involved that was supposed to be helping him with these RICO charges are offered immunity. He's the only one that wasn't offered immunity, but everybody else gets it. So everybody else gets to walk away from this scot-free, although the enablers, people say all the time, need to be dealt with as well. None of the Diddy enablers are being dealt with, including Cassie, because she was an enabler as well. Whether you like it or not, flip it, turn it, dip it, she enabled everything that was going on with Diddy, even enabled him to continue to hurt and harm her. Again, that hotel video, you returned right after that, regardless of him dragging you back to that room, you still came back on your own 2 feet. You still walked back to him willingly. That still happened.
In our interview that we did exclusively with Dave, the one who claims he serviced Cassie for 8 years and ended up getting her pregnant, said to me in his interview on TashaKLive.com exclusively that there was a time where he felt like Cassie sexually assaulted him because she called him over knowing that her period was on, did not disclose that her period was on, made sure the lights was off during this particular encounter, and then came all over him. And then when he woke up, he said it looked like a crime scene. He said he could not even fathom what had just happened. Like, why would you do that to me? Why wouldn't you tell me? I asked him, I said, did you smell the period blood at least? He said, no. He said, she always smelled like lavender.
I mean, again, trauma. If he views that as an essay, why? I mean, I can't knock him. I can't tell him he's wrong. Just like with people with Cassie. Cassie said that she was R-worded by Diddy. So since she said that, we can't tell her that she's wrong. It would be being insensitive to say, oh, no, that didn't happen to you, Cassie. But there is a different standard when it comes to men. Like with Cassie, we have to be careful with what we say and make sure that we are considering her and her feelings. But when it comes to these FOs, these men that were involved, there's no consideration. And they're also being labeled things that they're not. They're also being said that they went through things that they didn't. Cassie getting on the stand and telling them that she had bumps in her mouth, she had bumps around her vagina, that she was consistently having STX with these men with UTIs. Why wouldn't she be doing it on her menstrual if she's doing it with UTIs? So again, I would have to say, if that's how he feels, then he should sue. I believe all of the men that were involved with Cassie should sue her. 100%. She
involved take all the money that she's already been paid out from Diddy, as well as the Intercontinental Hotel,
and spread it out.
She
is not the only victim. Why is she the only one getting paid?
I need to hear from the winos. Do you guys feel that the sex workers should sue? Please bring a viewer up in here while we're waiting on Flame and Ro to load up right now and get his mic together. Sean, I hope you can stick around with Flame and give us some more commentary. I know I got y'all for free. So, I appreciate y'all, working for free for the winos. Hell, I'm working for free too. This live ain't monetized shit.
Girl, this ain't free. You had over 10,000 people up here. You can't pay for this type of promo.
Thank you. Yeah, we are streaming on Twitch as well as Facebook as well. Shout out to all audiences, everybody, all the winos, spread out across the world. We got to get TikTok back on the live stream as well as X. So yeah, who's waiting backstage? Birdie, where you calling from? You got yourself muted, Birdie. Make sure y'all mics is on and ready to go, guys. We got a lot of folks waiting backstage. While we conduct this verdict watch, the jury has reached a decision on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, but on count 1, they cannot, which is the one that carries the life sentence, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. So who's next? Oh, Flame is here. So, guys, please have your mics on. We're going to have my friend. Hold on. Okay, we'll give Flame just a second.